A wealth of information is accessible on maintaining good health. Don't delay, take action now. As we age, our desire is to feel fantastic so that we can continue to embrace new experiences. I recently came across an intriguing article about a medical school in San Francisco. They made a groundbreaking discovery that challenges the notion that our genes solely dictate how we age. Instead, they introduced the concept of the aging set point, a biological time clock embedded in our minds. This mechanism actively oversees the onset and progression of aging. The set point or aging clock is significantly influenced by a crucial factor: our attitudes towards the aging process. For example, if you perceive 35 as the midpoint of life, this belief can trigger biological changes in your body, leading to an acceleration of the aging process. It's essential to be mindful of our outlook on aging for a healthier and more fulfilling life as we grow older. When you reach the age of 35, it's quite intriguing, isn't it? At some point, we each determine where we place the markers for middle age and old age. Where do you personally set that threshold for aging? Personally, I envision myself living actively until the age of 96, so it's crucial for me to maintain my health. It's important to remember the principle that what we put out into the world, we receive in return. Therefore, it's essential to be mindful of how we treat elderly individuals, because inevitably we will be treated similarly as we age. Our attitudes towards older people shape our subconscious beliefs, influencing how we interact with them. Our beliefs, thoughts, and perceptions about life and ourselves ultimately manifest in reality. Additionally, I subscribe to the belief that we choose our parents before we are born, intending to learn important lessons from them. Our higher selves understood the necessary experiences required for our spiritual growth, and thus, whatever challenges we face with our parents, it's vital to address them. Regardless of their actions or words, our primary purpose is to cultivate self-love. Encourage your children to embrace self-love by providing them with a nurturing environment where they feel secure and can express themselves positively. Keep in mind that just as we select our parents, our children also choose us, presenting opportunities for mutual growth and learning. Parents who cultivate self-love within themselves will find it easier to impart this invaluable lesson to their children. By demonstrating self-worth through our own actions, we equip our children with the tools to develop a healthy sense of self-esteem. As we prioritize our own journey of self-love, our children observe and learn that it is not only acceptable, but also essential. Part 4 of this guide emphasizes the importance of applying our inner wisdom. Theoretical knowledge alone is insufficient without tangible action, positive transformation, and eventual healing. In Chapter 11, Receiving Prosperity, we confront the tendency to grasp for control when fear arises, inadvertently blocking the flow of abundance in our lives. By trusting in the abundance of life, we open ourselves to receiving our deepest desires and experiencing boundless prosperity. The issue lies in our receptivity. When we desire something, our higher power promptly responds without hesitation. But our readiness to receive is crucial. If we aren't prepared, the opportunity retreats into the repository of unfulfilled wishes. During my lectures, I observe individuals sitting with arms tightly folded, wondering how they can welcome anything in such a posture. Opening our arms widely is a powerful symbolic act. signaling to the universe for recognition and response. It can be intimidating for many, fearing that openness might attract undesirable outcomes. This fear often materializes until they alter the internal belief that they are destined for misfortune. The term prosperity is commonly associated with wealth, but it encompasses various aspects such as time, love, success, comfort, beauty, knowledge, relationships, health, and, of course, money. When people think of prosperity, money often comes to mind immediately. However, if you consistently feel rushed due to insufficient time for everything you wish to do, then a scarcity of time is affecting your prosperity. You are constrained by time scarcity. If you perceive success as unattainable, you will not achieve it. If life feels burdensome and arduous, you'll continually experience discomfort. Believing you lack knowledge and are incapable of understanding will disconnect you from the universe's wisdom. If love is absent and your relationships are strained, attracting love will prove challenging. What about beauty? Beauty surrounds us abundantly. Do you perceive the planet's beauty or see everything as ugly, wasteful, and dirty? How's your health? Do you frequently fall ill or suffer from frequent colds and pains? And then there's money. Many express perpetual financial scarcity in their lives. What are you allowing yourself to receive, or do you perceive yourself to be confined by a fixed income? But who imposed these limitations? None of these circumstances are directly related to receiving. Often people focus on acquiring possessions or achievements, but true abundance and prosperity come from allowing oneself to receive. When we find ourselves not obtaining what we desire, it's typically because we're not open to receiving it. If we approach life with a scarcity mentality, we'll likely receive scarcity in return. Similarly, if we take from life without giving back, life will take from us in return. True honesty begins with ourselves. It's a term frequently used, but not always fully comprehended. Honesty isn't solely about adhering to moral standards or avoiding punishment. Rather, it's an expression of self-love. The core principle of honesty lies in understanding that our actions create ripple effects, and whatever energy we put out into the world will inevitably return to us. This principle of cause and effect operates across all aspects of life. If we diminish or pass judgment on others, we too will face judgment. Persistent anger leads us to encounter anger wherever we go. The self-love we possess aligns us with the love that life has for us. Consider this scenario. Your apartment has recently been burglarized. Do you immediately see yourself as a victim, thinking, "My apartment was just robbed. Who did this to me?" Experiencing such a violation is deeply distressing. However, have you paused to reflect on how and why you might have attracted such an experience? Embracing the responsibility for creating our own experiences is not always an idea we willingly accept, perhaps only occasionally. It's far easier to attribute blame to external factors. Yet, our spiritual growth remains stunted until we acknowledge that true value originates from within us. Everything stems from our internal being. When I learn that someone has been robbed or suffered a loss, my initial question is, whom have you taken from recently? If I notice a curious expression on their face, I recognize that I've hit a sensitive nerve. Reflecting on instances when we've taken something and then recall what we subsequently lost can be illuminating. The correlation between these two experiences can be enlightening. Whenever we appropriate something that doesn't belong to us, we typically end up forfeiting something more valuable. Whether it's money or an item, taking often results in the loss of a relationship. Stealing a relationship might lead to the loss of a job. Pocketing office supplies could result in missing important appointments or events. These losses typically impact crucial aspects of our lives. It's regrettable that some individuals justify stealing from large corporations, department stores, restaurants, or hotels under the assumption that these establishments can absorb the loss. However, this rationalization is flawed. The principle of cause and effect remains applicable to each of us. When we take, we suffer losses. Conversely, when we give, we receive. There's no way around it.
How does the content in Louise Hay's video relate to the concept of maintaining good health and cultivating a positive perspective on aging? Louise Hay explores the concept of the aging set point, which refers to the mental biological clock influencing how we perceive and experience aging. Rather than solely attributing aging to genetics, Hay highlights the substantial impact our attitudes toward aging have on this set point. She stresses that viewing a particular age as the midpoint of life can trigger biological changes, either hastening or decelerating the aging process. Thus, cultivating a positive attitude towards aging is crucial for leading healthier and more enriching lives as we grow older. Beyond discussing aging and self-centeredness, Hay delves into the broader theme of prosperity. She underscores the significance of being open to receiving and attuned to the abundant flow across various facets of life, including time, love, success, knowledge, relationships, health, and finances. The discourse on abundance underscores the idea that embracing receptivity is key, while a scarcity mindset can impede the ability to attract abundance. Lastly, Hay introduces the principle of cause and effect, emphasizing how our actions shape the outcomes we encounter. She equates honesty with self-respect and suggests that negative behaviors, such as judgment or theft, yield unfavorable consequences. Hay concludes by asserting that what we give reflects what we receive, emphasizing that the principle of cause and effect extends to all aspects of life.